All right, good morning, guys, from Nairobi, Kenya. And today I'm going to talk about why I don't have any regrets dating in Southeast Asia.
Same four walls, same fading year. Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags.
And by the way, I'm at a park here in Nairobi. It's called the Nairobi Arboretum. It's that's the way they pronounce it here. But I thought I would start taking my videos outside a bit more, show you a little bit more. And it is brisk this morning. It's pretty cool. I think it's about 17 degrees Celsius. You can convert that for yourselves. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful out here. And there's just trails all over the place here. Hi. So anyway, I just want to be clear about something. I don't have any regrets about dating in Southeast Asia at all. In fact, overall, my experience was actually pretty good. I've met some really good women, some women that I regret that not having a long-term relationship with. And, you know, in the process, I've learned a lot about myself, about the culture, and what I actually want long-term. So really no regrets at all. But if I would start over and had the experience to do it all again, with the experience I have now, I would probably do things differently. So this video is it's not bitterness, it's not a warning, it's just more about perspective. And perspective only comes after you've lived it. And, you know, let's be honest, when I first arrived in Southeast Asia and first started dating, it was amazing. It felt amazing. The warmth, the friendliness, the femininity, the appreciation. Dating felt a lot easier back home. There's less friction, less resistance, less emotional exhaustion. And for a lot of men coming from the Western dating culture, that feels like a breath of fresh air. And for a long time, that was exactly what I needed. That's why I say I have no regrets. Those experiences definitely served a purpose in my life. So I guess the first thing I want to talk about is what I didn't understand back then. And what I didn't understand early on was this. Easy attraction doesn't equal long-term alignment. You know, in Southeast Asia, relationships can move really fast. Actually, I'm learning that about Kenya too. But yeah, they can move really fast. You get emotional attachment, living together, financial expectations, family involvement, future assumptions. And none of that is evil or manipulative. It's just cultural, at least in my opinion. But if you don't slow things down intentionally, you can wake up one day realizing, I didn't choose this, it just kind of happened. That actually happened to me during the pandemic. We were dating one moment. The next thing, I felt bad for her because she's stuck in this little crappy apartment. And I said, yeah, move on in. The next thing you know, we're a year later into the pandemic, still together. And so I don't really blame, that's not really the fault of culture. I think that's more of a lack of clarity. And there's this thing, what I call transition into intention. And this is where a lot of men, I think, go wrong in Southeast Asia, including myself. Not because the women are bad, not because the culture is broken, but because momentum places intention. And when intentions aren't clear from the beginning, relationships start running on emotion instead of choice. And this is where I'll say something important. If you're serious about dating in Asia, especially with marriage or long-term partnership in mind, clarity matters more than chemistry. And that's why platforms like AsianWives.com exist. It's designed for people who are intentional, relationship-minded, and looking for alignment from the start instead of drifting into situations. It's not about rushing, it's about both sides knowing what they're open to and what they're not. I'll leave a link below for anyone who wants to explore that route. It'll be down in the description and also the pinned comment. All right, back to the bigger point. In Southeast Asia, I've noticed that things kind of escalate quickly. You don't always get a choice in the matter. You don't really decide. And that is to become a provider, to support extended family, to move in quickly, and to take on long-term responsibility. These things just happen, I think, kind of slowly and unintentionally. Like, you may feel bad because of her living situation, so you rush the move in. Maybe you've met her family, you feel bad about their living situation, and you start to support. And it just kind of snowballs, and it just unfolds. And unless you pause and ask, is this what I want 5 or 10 years from now? You know, that's what you have to look at. You'll keep going out of politeness, emotional attachment, or guilt. And I think that's where many men probably feel stuck. Not unhappy, but unintentional. And it's happened to me, you know. I've rushed in relationships, rushed to moving a girl in because you feel bad for their living situation. So, what would I do differently if I was living in Southeast Asia? In particular, the Philippines. I'm still technically living in Bangkok, though I'm debating. I'm thinking about really kind of hitting the road and just traveling all over, exploring Africa, exploring countries in Eastern Europe, and, you know, spending some time in Italy, even, heck, maybe even Australia. I don't know. But here's what I would probably change if dating in Southeast Asia. Again, particularly the Philippines. First, I'd slow everything way down. No emotional sprinting, no rushed commitments. And then second, I would set financial boundaries early. Not harsh, just clear and consistent. And third, I would date much, much longer before cohabitation. Living together changes the whole dynamics, changes expectations fast. And fourth, I'd stop trying to be the nice guy and Mr., want to save the world. And I think I would just focus on being honest and grounded instead. None of this kills romance. I think it just kind of actually protects it, in my opinion. But, despite everything, I still believe Southeast Asia offers a lot for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of warmth. I think there's loyalty can be found, emotional openness, appreciation many men don't experience elsewhere. And I think for the right man with the right boundaries, it can be an amazing place to build a relationship or even a family if you still want to go that route. And so I don't look at it as failing Southeast Asia. I learned there. And I've taken that experience even here now in Kenya. And here's the reason why I think my views have changed. And I think as you get older, well, your priorities change. People will say, will leave in the comments, say, Gio, you used to have a different way of thinking when you first got to the Philippines. Well, yeah, it was years ago. And your priorities change as well. But I think you stop asking, how does this feel right now? And you start asking, how does this look long term? And I think that shift is why my viewers evolved. Not because Southeast Asia is bad, but because I changed. Different phase of life, different standards, different clarity. So when I say I don't regret dating in Southeast Asia, I mean it. But if I were doing it again today, I would choose intention over momentum, boundaries over pressure, clarity over comfort. And that's not anti-Southeast Asia, that's earned wisdom in my book. So if you've dated in Southeast Asia, I'd love to hear what you've learned respectfully in the comments down below. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.
Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us, keep living.